Hello, Spartans. My name is Keith Hennig, and it is my privilege to serve as principal of Skyline High School. I would like to welcome you to our Student of the Quarter presentation, our last Student of the Quarter presentation for the 2021-2022 school year. And of all the events that I get to participate in as principal of Skyline, the Student of the Quarter presentation is one of my favorite because it's an opportunity for us to highlight a lot of students and learn about some of the great things that they're doing, not only in classrooms at Skyline, but also outside of classrooms at Skyline. Now, how the Student of the Quarter presentation or nomination works is that we have at Skyline what is called the Skyline Learner Profile, which is 11 characteristics that we ask students to strive to be. And each quarter, we take 3 or 4 of those characteristics and we send an email out to staff looking for nominations of students who fit one of those learner profile characteristics. And for this quarter, we picked 4 characteristics, and those are, we asked staff to nominate students who were knowledgeable, students who were open-minded, students who were reflective, and students who are thinkers. And we've got a lot of recommendations this quarter. And in a second here, I'm going to turn it over to some other staff members to talk about those nominated students and what they did to get nominated. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here because, like I said, this is an awesome, awesome presentation where we get to learn a lot about students and a lot about what they're doing in and out of the classroom to meet those learner profile characteristics. So thanks for being here, and I'm going to turn it over to our first staff member who's going to introduce those students who are nominated for being knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable. Students who are knowledgeable develop and use conceptual understanding, exploring knowledge across a range of disciplines. They engage with issues and ideas that have local and global significance. Nevo Alsberg. Ms. Gilpin and Ms. Nguyen are nominating Nevo for consistently engaging with their lessons and sharing his perspective with his peers. He makes connections beyond the curriculum and is willing to bring outside information to class conversations in a way that benefits all. Valeria Aular. Ms. Torrey sees how Valeria cares about others. When Valeria heard that her classmate needed help with math, Valeria took all 40 minutes of her flex time explaining the day's lesson to him. Congrats. Liam Broderson. Ms. Torrey appreciates Liam's very positive outlook in life. Liam likes to work hard and his classmates enjoy working with him. Tristan Busaleta. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Tristan because he asks thoughtful questions, is always participating in class discussions, and works well with others. Next, Emma Chapman. Ms. Santos is nominating Emma for her consistent and in-depth engagement with course content. Emma works constantly to make connections to what she is learning and to deepen her understanding of what she learns. Emma shares her knowledge and is frequently seen enthusiastically seeking after new knowledge. Emma is a student who values knowledge and learning. She is a pleasure to teach. Samantha DeLeo. Ms. Bennett is nominating Samantha for being organized and thoughtful in class, completing assignments quickly and creatively, and participating in class discussions. Safe Edabat. Ms. Wolfenden Louis says Safe did an amazing job, including his existing knowledge of Islam in his second semester paper. He worked diligently and thoroughly to put together an excellent paper with a complex argument. Good job, Safe. Next, Yasmin Farhad. Ms. Havlin is nominating Yasmin for her perspective this year and demonstrating deep thinking during the Shakespeare unit. Yasmin is an asset to our class. I say there is no darkness but ignorance. Shakespeare. Next up, Dina Garber. Dr. Sharma appreciates that Dina is open-minded and respectful. She is mature and processes information and remains open for feedback. Congrats. Next, Rishi Hazra. Mrs. Rossi is nominating Rishi for being incredibly helpful and knowledgeable when it comes to ASB. There's no one more knowledgeable of the ASB Constitution than Rishi. Not only is he knowledgeable, but he also ran the Amendment Committee this year to rewrite the Constitution to be more clear for clubs. Rishi is a pro when it comes to running meetings and has amazing ideas on how to better the school and the class. Anytime there is a question or conflict involving clubs or protocols, Rishi is the go-to. Next is Graham Hohman. Dr. Kamath nominates Graham for humbly offering his new information with others in class and identifies outside resources to extend expertise and appropriately applies them to in-class discussions. Dr. Kamath is very proud of Graham. Next being recognized is Joseph Hernserk. Ms. Ziebart has appreciated the hard work and true musicianship of Joseph through the years at Skyline. As a senior in vocal jazz, he is always willing to learn a voice part, lead a section in a rehearsal, and thoughtfully be prepared for any number of solos in the choir. He will be missed. Next up being recognized is Nolan Lee. Nolan's musical knowledge and attention to detail has become so evident in his senior year of vocal jazz. Ms. Ziebart says, is a true leader in the learning and response to the music performed. That was also evident during the musical. In Newsies, he was the one who knew the cutoffs in each number and who led many of the scenes with his energy in the production. Congrats. Next to be recognized is Grace Lopez. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Grace because she is diligent and responsible. Grace asks questions and has brave conversations with her teachers to advocate for herself. Next to be nominated is Luke Matthews. Ms. Havlin is nominating Luke for his persistence this year that has allowed him to shine in his English class. He demonstrates strong understanding and passion for content. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. Shakespeare. Next being recognized is Libby McBride. Ms. Ziebart says Libby does an outstanding job in interpreting jazz music. In particular, her rendition of solos is always on the money. That was in quotes, in terms of her delivery. In vocal jazz and as Catherine in her Newsies role, Libby has done amazing work. Thanks to Libby for her dedication and all the fun she has shared with the jazz group. Next being recognized is Aditi Nair. Aditi is a great role model for others, raves Miss Toy. She aspires to learn the maximum amount while in class. Thanks, Aditi. Next being recognized is Shweta Narayanan. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Shweta for being engaged and attentive during class. Shweta consistently submits assignments on time and does an amazing job in class. Congrats. Next to be recognized is Advay Patil. Dr. Sharma appreciates how knowledgeable, focused, and helpful Advay is in her 6th period chemistry class. Up next, Riley Platt. Ms. Havlin is nominating Riley for his knowledgeable contributions to her class and his continued efforts this year. Listen to many, speak to few. Shakespeare. Next being recognized is Ashvin Ranjan. Dr. Sharma says Ashvin reads ahead and is focused in class, even though he is way ahead in content. Ashvin always asks good questions and helps other students. Thank you, Ashvin. Next being recognized is Solace Snepkakis. Ms. Havlin is nominating Solace for his deep thinking and passion toward the content. Solace cares about deepening his understanding and is an asset to Skyline's learning community. If we are true to ourselves, we cannot be false to anyone. Shakespeare. Next to be recognized is Josephine Waicakaukas. Dr. Kamath is nominating Josephine for identifying outside resources to extend scientific expertise and appropriately applying them to in-class discussions. Fien always adds a wealth of new information with others in class, such as cool and relevant Netflix chemistry shows to watch and science field trips with her family. Dr. Kamath has truly enjoyed having her in class. Next to be recognized is Alex Scherer. Mrs. Linsbach is nominating Alex for his efforts in the robotics purchasing this year. Alex always did his research and then prepared scientific instructions on how to purchase those unique items. His emails were detailed and complete, and if there were questions, he always followed up in a timely manner. He helped make Miss Linsbach's ASB bookkeeper job easier, and his efforts have been greatly appreciated. Thanks, Alex. Next to be recognized for knowledgeable is Audrey Zener. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Audrey for her clear communication, awesome questions, and frequent collaboration with her peers. Next to be recognized is the category of open-minded. Students who are open-minded critically appreciate their own cultures and personal histories, as well as the values and traditions of others. They seek and evaluate a range of points of view and are willing to grow from their experience. All right. First to be recognized is Rabab Ali. Ms. Maconia nominates Rabab because she is a very outgoing student and is not intimidated by any challenge given to her. Despite being a student who receives services in the LRC2 program, Rabab leads the class in the morning meeting and is generally great at helping her classmates. Congrats, Rabab. Next to be nominated for open-minded is Rounak Bodas. Mrs. Santos is nominating Rounak in recognition of his willingness to grow as a learner. Rounak is often seen engaging with new perspectives and seeking earnestly to understand the perspectives of others. He engages respectfully in discussion and is always open to new ideas, using them as an opportunity to further his learning. Rounak values the knowledge that comes from true open-minded learning. Next to be recognized is Kit Burton. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Kit because they are always striving to be authentic and consider multiple viewpoints. They have thoughtful conversations and they make Skyline a better place to be. Thanks, Kit. Next to be recognized is Jade Gecas. Mrs. Bronson nominates Jade for her consistent, positive attitude and openness to work with all students in the classroom. Jade takes on any challenge put in front of her with a smile. Jade encourages her peers to share their truth and works hard to understand everyone's perspectives. Next to be recognized, Gavin Hafner. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Gavin for his thoughtful discussion, frequent collaboration, and reflection on his own place at Skyline. Mrs. Bennett is so proud of Gavin for being himself and helping those around him. Alex Kozilik. Mrs. Casano would like to thank Alex for all the work she does in her American Studies course. Alex participates on a daily basis, engages in critical thinking, and is an asset to the class. Next to be nominated is Adarsh Kumarapan. Mrs. Toy says Adarsh brings incredible work ethic with him to class. He has a curiosity for learning and a respect for the educational process. Next to be recognized is Cynthia Lin. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Cynthia for being kind and collaborative with others. Cynthia helps make Skyline a more welcoming place to be yourself. Next student is Shravya Marina. Dr. Kamath nominates Shravya, who recognizes and can argue multiple sides of an argument with the goal of mutual understanding. Shravya's passion for equity, subjects, and openness when she expresses her thoughts is admirable. Dr. Kamath hopes she keeps her passion to make this world a better place alive through her adult years. Next to be recognized is Sophia Mathieu-Bravo. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Sophia Mathieu-Bravo for engaging in conversations in class, being curious and striving to understand multiple perspectives. Next to be recognized is Lena Nimeri. Mrs. Bennett nominates Lena in the open-minded category for carefully considering her role in society and working to make Skyline a more welcoming place to be. Erika Porter is nominated by Ms. Havlin for her willingness to guide others in class and perseverance this year. She demonstrates strong understanding and a passion for the content. I say there is no darkness, but ignorance. Shakespeare. Next to be recognized is Jamie Ramirez. Mrs. Bennett appreciates Jamie for her honest communication with her peers, courageous conversations, and thoughtful approach to life and learning. Next to be recognized is Sienna Roberts. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Sienna Roberts for striving to see other perspectives and being inclusive of those around her. Next to be recognized is Colby Simpson. Since Colby joined Mrs. Bice's class as a teaching assistant, he has exemplified what it means to jump in and make himself useful. He adapts to changes in the classroom environment. He helps all students with their math work. Whenever they have questions, Colby has taken on the teacher role when Mrs. Bice's class has to be combined with another class. And he is not afraid to ask for help when he is unsure. Colby has been a model TA and demonstrates that being open-minded is simply in his nature.
Students who are nominated in this category are students who are reflective. These students thoughtfully consider the world and their own ideas and experience. They work to understand their strengths and weaknesses in order to support their learning and personal development. Our first student is Harley Cabanag. Harley was nominated by Mr. Caffey. Mr. Caffey is recognizing Harley because he is not only so fun to talk to, but he is amazingly reflective regarding his thoughts, actions, and what it's going to take for him to achieve his goals. Mr. Caffey has tons of confidence and faith in Harley's ability to do whatever he sets his mind to. Thanks for being such an inspiration, Harley. Next up, we have Wynn Ellsbury. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Wynn for being kind and thoughtful in communication. Wynn knows that being yourself is important and demonstrates bravery in that pursuit. Thank you. Our next student is Shubham Garg. Profe Villalobos is nominating Shubham, or Suerte, because he's always reflecting about the learning in class. He always tries to use the concepts that are just learned in context when communicating. Profe Villalobos says it's been really fun and a pleasure to have him in her class. Our next student is Carli Grant. Mr. Ruther says Carli has been constantly improving over the course of the year because of her dedication to grow. She seeks out feedback on her classwork, but more importantly, she wants to continue to become a better friend and person as well. Our next student is Echo He. Ms. Wentz and Mr. Hyland want to nominate Echo because of how amazing she is in their PE class. In every single unit, she shows that she truly wants to learn and improve. In badminton, she wanted more practice, so she joined the badminton club. She asks great questions from her peers who are coaches and was nominated as the hardest worker in the soccer unit. She reflects on her skill and is always seeking improvement from knowledgeable people around her. Way to go, Echo. June Higginbottom. Mrs. Bennett is nominating June for being positive and kind every day. June strives to put her best foot forward and move forwards towards where she wants to be. Thanks, June. Ritika Kakade. Dr. Kamath nominates Ritika for approaching team assignments by encouraging the strengths of each member to create a better result and is always willing to share her self-made study guides and solutions with her peers. Thank you. Abhinav Kundero. Dr. Sharma says Abhinav is helpful and reflective, receives feedback and works on self-improvement and tries to help others too. Abhinav is strong and advocates for community. Ms. Lackey is also nominating Abhinav in the reflective category for thoughtful planning and preparation for life after high school and his leadership to the Skyline community. Avery Laramore. Dr. K nominates Avery for being one of the exceptionally insightful students in her section. Even on the most difficult topics, Avery teams up and approaches team assignments by encouraging the strengths of each member to create a better result. It is truly a pleasure to have Avery in class. Ben Rice. Mrs. McIlwain says Ben continues to make tremendous growth in the area of social behavior. He talks about how he has reflected on feedback and how he has improved or changed his behavior. He endeavors to engage his peers in conversations and invites them to join in things that he's doing and tries to be thoughtful and kind. Thanks, Ben. Emmy Soulier. Dr. K nominates Emmy for her self-discipline and passion to do the right thing and not giving up. Emmy self-advocates for tools or resources to help learn more easily and doesn't believe in taking the easy way out. Way to go, Emmy. Madison Stevens. Ms. Bronson is nominating Maddie because she makes students around her better. Maddie strives to be inclusive and respectful. Maddie's desire to become a teacher herself allows her to bring a unique perspective to class activities. Our next category are students who are thinkers. Students who are thinkers use critical and creative thinking skills to analyze and take responsible action on complex problems. They exercise initiative in making reasoned, ethical decisions. Our first student in this category is Simone Chadha. Ms. Bacon says Simone is very respectful and thoughtful. She is a willing team member, but also very content to think through ideas and problems on her own. Simone is able to use both cool and warm feedback to make improvements and hone her creativity. Jessie Chen. Professora Villalobos is nominating Jessie for always giving her 100% during class. She likes challenges and is ready to learn every single day. It is a pleasure to have Jessie in Spanish IB class. Carli Grant. Ms. Macon would like to nominate Carli for her fourth period for her thinkers category because she has a positive attitude. Carli is diligent about completing the tasks she is asked to do. She's willing to go to the portables to deliver call slips, and Ms. Macon really appreciates her dependability. Noah Hong. Dr. Kamath nominates Noah for being a hardworking and responsible student who engages thoughtfully in peer-to-peer classroom discussions and is always looking for a better way to get things done. Dr. Kamath truly appreciates Noah's calm and dignified presence in class. Austin Howey. Ms. Havlin is nominating Austin for his perseverance and tenacity that has allowed him to demonstrate deep thinking in their class. He has become a source of knowledge and more so, learned to work through challenging tasks, go wisely and slowly. Those who rush stumble and fall. Shakespeare. Ace Kennerud. Ms. Eberhardt is nominating Ace in the thinkers category because they're proactive and thoughtful as a main office TA. Ms. Eberhardt appreciates Ace always asking, "What's next?" after completing a task, and their willingness to go all the way out to the portables and mailbox, even during a rainstorm. Ace's confidence and dependability are evidenced and valued. Thank you, Ace. Fabiana Lozada-Perdomo. Ms. Enns is nominating Fabiana due to her commitment and experimentation and iteration in creating graphic design work. Not only does she constantly seek new and more efficient ways to create work, she also researches and thinks deeply about style and how to connect her designs to contemporary design trends. Garv Maheshwari. Garv shows great appreciation for the educational process, raves Miss Toy. He stays on task and is really helpful to others. Thank you. Josh Mallory. Ms. Havlin is nominating Josh for his continued enthusiasm and willingness to deepen his understanding of the content. He expresses passion for the subject and is a positive influence on those around him. All difficulties are easy when they are known, said Shakespeare. Neha Marina. Ms. Bacon says Neha is creative, thoughtful, and empathetic. She takes time to think about the little details as well as the big picture. And when needed, Neha doesn't hesitate to ask questions. She raises the bar with both her creativity and ability to give and receive feedback. The class is thankful for this. Jakob McCandlish. Dr. Kamath nominates Jacob for self-assessing work habits and a critical lens this semester. He takes constructive criticism well and takes the corrective actions, which have resulted in considerable academic progress in chemistry. Dr. Kamath appreciates Jacob's cooperation this semester. Evan Salisbury. Ms. Everhart nominates Evan in the Thinkers category because of his proactive and positive attitude as a main office TA. Evan is diligent about completing morning tasks that are essential and keeping the main office running smoothly throughout the day. Ms. Everhart appreciates Evan's dependability and happy disposition. Thanks for your help, Evan. Alex Scherer. Mrs. Bennett is nominating Alex for being an active participant in class and taking responsibility for her learning. Amy Skirl. Ms. Macon would like to nominate Amy because she's always proactive when coming in as a front office TA, taking call slips right away when she comes in. She has a can-do attitude on any project that is requested from her. Ms. Macon really appreciates your reliability and cheerfulness. Thank you. Divya Sivakumar. Ms. Toy says Divya deliberately works hard and does her best. She is pleasant and cooperative in Spanish class. Thank you so much for celebrating our Spartans together. It takes a whole community of people to make these students be the people who they are. And we know that it is really the hard work of their families as well as their teachers here who have made them be the people they are today. And we really appreciate all of the work that went into supporting them in their community as well as here at school. We really appreciate you all. Thank you.